Hey guys, so today I will be showing you how I do my big puff. It's a style that I always do. I love to do it and it's really easy and looks amazing. So I can't wait to show you. Let's get started. So for this tutorial you will need a pick. Plastic, metal, doesn't really matter. You will need brushes for your edges and your baby hairs. Get them laid and slayed. You'll need a Denman brush or a detangling brush. You will also need Aunt Jackie's Don't Shrink Flaxseed Elongating Curling Gel or your favorite curling gel. You will need a shoelace or like a headband or something along those lines. And my favorite Eco Styler. So I'm starting with clean hair. I slept on it. I haven't done anything to it. So I'm just going to stretch it out. So that's all you really need to do. It's important to do this step so that you can make sure your hair is big and not like shrunken because you want your puff to be as big as possible. So that's what I'm doing right now. It takes a little bit of time. You just want to make sure your curls are separated. Now I have little sections like this that I want them to be way more defined than usual. So now what I'm getting ready to do is go through and find the sections that I want to have more curl definition and go ahead and fix those up. So this is the section I'm getting ready to give a little TLC. So I'm going to be using the elongating curling gel. And first I'm just going to add some water to it. Then I'm going to add the gel, take the Denman, and brush it through. It's really simple. It's not a lot to it. And that's what I'm going to do all over my head for the pieces I feel like need a little TLC. They need to be a little more defined than usual. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So it's just add the water, add the product, brush it through. I'm just going to do that all over my head. Or not all over, but just the parts that I feel like it needed. You don't want your hair to be too damp and product down because then it will be flat and it won't be so much as a puff as just like, I don't know, really damp hair sitting on top of your head kind of. So you don't want to go crazy with the sections that you do. I don't ever really do that many. Sometimes I don't do any at all and I just let my puff rock as is. But for the purpose of this tutorial, there are going to be a few sections that I'm going to spruce up. So now that that's done, the next thing I'm going to do is take my pick and pick my hair out some more. Like I said earlier, you want your hair to be stretched. You don't want too many clumps. You just want to go through and pick out the roots, pick out the part. You guys saw I had a middle part. Pick all of that out just as much as you feel you need to, just so your hair is big enough to go up into the puff. So that's all I'm doing. If you prefer to use a metal pick or a comb or anything like that, all of that works as well. My pick is my best friend, so that's what I'm using. So it has come time to lay and slay the edges. Very important part of this style. So the first thing I'm going to do is just brush back all my baby hairs, anything like that. And I'm just going to add water to it. If you have a spray bottle, you can use that too. I don't have a spray bottle at the moment, so I'm just using water from my sink, putting it on my hands and putting it directly on my edges. So when I do this puff, I like my hair to be sleek. I don't usually slick the back, but I do like the front to be sleek and not poofy in any way. So after I put the water on, I'm just putting the edge control, the Eco Styler right onto my hair, just like that. And I'm going to do that all over the front of my head, but I'm doing this side first just to show you guys. Then I'm going to take that little brush and go ahead and brush it through. Just like that. And then we're going to do the other side. So it's sleek and laid all over, and it's going to look amazing, and I'm so excited. So just add the water, then you add the Eco Styler right on top of it, just right on there. And then you're just going to take that little brush and brush it through when you've added all the Eco Styler. And I mean, add as little or as much as you want. You'll start to learn, if you don't already know, how much Eco Styler your hair needs to be slick. And you just use that little brush. So now we're going to do the baby hairs, and I'm not going to focus too much on this part on how I do it. I can link below for you guys my video on how I do my baby hairs if you really are interested in seeing, but I love to have my baby hairs laid for this style. I think it just ties it all together really, like it's just really cute, because there are some styles I do where I don't lay my baby hairs at all. But this one, I really like to lay my baby hairs with it, and I like to lay it where I merge it into my edges too. So that's what you might see me doing in this video. But if you're really interested in seeing how I do it, go ahead and check out the description box below to see how I usually lay my baby hairs. since I'm not really getting into it in this video. And so now we're just going to do the exact same thing to the other side, laying down the baby hairs, making sure they're cute, and, you know, eco-styler down on the side of my face like that. And yeah, I always lay my edges, I always do that with this style, and it looks great. I haven't ever tried it without it. I feel like it would look weird since I'm so used to laying my edges down with it. So for now, I'm just going to keep laying my baby hairs down when I do this big puff style. And I know I mix up edges and baby hairs all the time, and I apologize for that, but to me, they're one and the same, really. Like, they all get laid down with Eco Styler Gel. So get into the swoops, guys. Swoop game is crazy. So now we're going to get really into how to actually do the puff. So this is the shoelace, and I'm really using a shoelace, like that's what it is. I'm going to show you right there. It's an actual shoelace. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to put this over top the front of your head, and where you want to place it, behind your ears and then under your ears and around, just like that. You want to make sure it's even. And where you're placing the actual string is behind your edges and your baby hairs, like right where you laid them. So I slowed this part of the video down for you guys can see, but I just tie a regular knot in the back, like just a regular loop, and then you turn around and you're just going to keep pulling it tighter. And as you pull it tighter, it will move further up your head. So you're pulling it tight from the back, not the front. And that's what it looks like from the front. Then I take the shoelace around the front and put it underneath the puff. Just crisscross it over and pull it around, back to the back. And then I just tie a regular little knot. And then I finish it off with the signature shoelace tie, because it is a shoelace. And then usually that hides underneath my puff. If you find you have a really long shoelace and it's a lot going on, you can tuck it down with the bobby pin. And then what I'm doing now is I'm just, playing around with my puff. This will loosen up the tightness of the shoelace. If it is too tight on your scalp, it'll make your puff bigger. You can put gel on your fingers and, any type of product. You can use a pick, anything to make your puff bigger and shaped exactly how you want it. And that's really how it's done. This is the whole look. I hope you guys loved it and will try it yourselves.